Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame, Hulk, quote, Merry Christmas, end quote, Encarta.
Well, the same to you. Same to you.
Actually, the quote should have ended after Merry. So it would be Hulk, quote, Merry, end quote, Christmas, because it's not Merry after watching the movie. It's the opposite of Mary. And I don't mean Mary, Mother of Jesus. I mean Mary as in, cheerful and stuff like that.
Yes. Well, I'm full of cheer because I watched an amazing movie. It brought, cheer to my heart and everything. It was a great movie. Mm-hmm. It wasn't this movie, but it was a movie.
It was a movie.
Yeah, it wasn't this movie. It was probably any other movie I've ever watched in my life. Maybe. I don't know. There's been a few worse than this. It's hard to say if this or Jingle All the Way 2 is worse. I don't really know.
That's a close second. I mean, nothing is top Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny as far as I'm concerned.
No, never.
This is a cinematic masterpiece.
That's the Citizen Kane of Christmas movies. Oh, gosh. So, today, folks, we are covering the 1996 holiday classic, Santa with Muscles. The Internet Movie Database logline for this movie is a heartless millionaire believes he is Santa Claus after an accident renders him amnesiac.
Yeah.
So this film was directed by John Merlowski, who has directed other classics. Let's see what else he's directed. The Man in the Guest House, Hiding from My Husband, Hearts Under the Olive Tree, bunch of TV movies. See if there's anything I recognize here. So far, not. Black Cadillac, Cop Dog, another Hulk Hogan movie called The Secret Agent Club. He also directed Amityville: A New Generation, which is probably one of the bad sequels to the Amityville horror.
Oh, yeah.
He did direct a movie in 2012 that I'm curious about. The name of it is called Zombie Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one actually looks interesting. I might have to check that one out. It's like a comedy about a zombie performing Hamlet or something. Anyways, I don't know. So it's, like you do. Anyways, so this was written by Jonathan Bond, Fred Matta, and Dory Crum Raymond. And as far as writing goes, none of these people wrote anything else.
Wow, this was their masterpiece.
Sometimes it's one of those things like you just hit perfection and you stop.
Yeah. It's like a band with their first album that they can't ever top. Like Boston's first album, their master,
or like those one hit wonders. There's no point of ever trying to top Cotton Eye Joe or something. It's just
exactly. Why would you? And can you also who produced this movie, which I find is the most hilarious thing about this movie?
So there's a few trivia things I want to share here before we start this and announce the cast and everything. So the first thing is, I guess the original author's draft was changed so much that he sued to have his name removed from the movie.
Wow.
So one of the executive producers of this film is Jordan Belfort, who people may know as the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yep. And so yeah, there was.
I want to know the inspiration, how this happened. Was it a money laundering scheme? I mean, it was like,
I'm wondering. So, like, Jordan produced in 1997 a movie called Skeletons. In '96, The Elevator. Another movie, Prey of the Jaguar, Santa with Muscles, Assault on Dome 4, Blood Money. The other the other Hulk Hogan movie directed by the same director as this one, called The Secret Agent Club, and Firestorm, another movie. None of these look like they were like theatrical releases except for this one. Yeah.
So was he like trying to get into the film industry
Maybe
or
he
something?
was.
Like that?
I don't know. I mean, someday soon we will cover The Wolf of Wall Street, and maybe we'll look more into that. So
I've been trying to find. There's like, it's not streaming anywhere. It sucks. Like, you have to buy it basically.
Yeah, we'll see. I own it. I own it, so I can watch it. But still, the the interesting thing is okay. So another thing here is, okay, one of the actors in the movie, we've got Mila Kunis is in it. This is her theatrical film debut.
Wow.
Don Stark, who's in this as well. Both of them went on to star in that 70s show. Don Stark.
Right.
Yeah. And so, okay, another thing is Mila Kunis used to date Macaulay Culkin. And Brenda Song is also in this movie in her debut, and she's the current wife of Macaulay Culkin. She has a small role towards the beginning of the movie, and this is her film debut as well. So I just have a question. Like, I'm just wondering if around Christmas time, the Culkin clan gets together and they watch, Home Alone 1 and 2, and then they pop in Santa with Muscles.
Those muscles are popping, so.
Oh, that'd be the best Christmas ever. Oh, no. So
I guess, but
I'm joking.
It's better than watching Home Alone 4 after skipping 3.
Yeah. So this movie stars the elephant we haven't mentioned yet, Hulk Hogan. I mean, we haven't mentioned him. Hulk Hogan as Blake Thorne, aka Santa with Muscles. We have Don Stark as Lenny. We have Robin Curtis as Leslie. The great Garrett Morris as Clayton. You know what's really funny? Watching this movie, and you'd be thinking, hey, one of the main stars of this movie's dead. You'd think it might be Garrett Morris, but no, he's still kicking it. And Hulk Hogan is dead. So anyway,
it's true. It's true, yeah.
So we have Arya Noel Curzon as Elizabeth, Adam Wiley as Taylor, Mila Kunis as Sarah, Jennifer Paz as Helen Chu, Clint Howard as Hinckley, Ed Begley Jr. as Ebner Frost, Steve Valentine as Dr. Blight, and then there's other people too. So,
yep.
Like I said, Brenda Song in her film debut as she's the little girl who at the beginning of the movie, we'll get to this point, but there's two thugs trying to steal the money that's being donated to the orphanage, and she's the one that notices them and yells for Santa.
Okay.
Little girl. Yeah. So there we go. So, initial thoughts here on this movie.
I'd say bewilderment, confusion, befuddlement, confounded or confounded, however you did. Angry, depressed, anxious, a little bit aroused from Hulk. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, whatever floats your boat, buddy. I'm good with that. That's cool. I mean,
Talking more about Lenny.
Well, like I said, whatever floats your boat. Yeah, this was a Hulk Hogan movie for sure. One good thing is he doesn't have his mullet, and he actually has hair for some reason on the top of his head.
Yeah, that's right. He looks a lot different that way.
I think they obviously put a toupee on him and wig or whatever, and and cut his mullet. So that was interesting choice.
It was. I wonder what they were going for. Was that?
Yeah.
Still plays kind of like, I don't even know what he does. How is he rich? I never really understood. Is he an actor? Is he you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I just found an article. I was just curious more about Santa with Muscles here and some stuff. And I found an article. It says, this is from, I don't know, a couple years ago or something, when the Blu-ray for the movie came out. There's a Blu-ray for this movie, by the way.
Wow.
This article by Jason Hink. It says, it's the holiday season. My Christmas tree is up, 2-footer atop the living room bar. I've just finished wrapping gifts poorly, and I'm in the mood for some subversive movie watching. I turn to my stack of unwatched Blu-rays sitting lonely on the shelf, and I see snarky Leonardo DiCaprio's face staring back at me. The Wolf of Wall Street looks like fun, but damn, it's the holidays. And Christmas is just a few days away, so I scan my unwatched stack one more time for anything, blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyways, so trying to see what else he says here. It says, find the Mill Creek Entertainment Blu-ray of Santa with Muscles starring Hulk Hogan and no reindeer. But that's not all. In a strange stroke of Christmas magic, it turns out the Wolf of Wall Street himself, Jordan Belfort, co-executive produced Santa with Muscles way back in 1996. One of 8 low-budget trash-taculars he produced in the 90s. So somebody else noticed it too. So
so was this after he got in trouble and went to jail or whatever? I don't know if he went to jail or not, but
he did. He actually. So the reason he ended up writing his book is another That 70s Show connection here. Wow. Jordan Belfort. Guess who he shared a cell with when he was in jail?
Oh God, I have no idea.
Not somebody that's currently in jail, but because you would think Danny Masterson, but no.
OJ maybe?
No, it was Tommy Chong from That 70s Show who was in jail for selling drug paraphernalia.
Right.
And I guess he would tell stories to Tommy all the time about his life, and Tommy's like, write a book. And that's how Wolf of Wall Street became a movie eventually.
Crazy, man.
It's because of Tommy Chong.
Chong basically is like responsible for revitalization of Jordan Belfort, the guy who scammed millions, perhaps billions of dollars out of hardworking people who are just good enough to buy his pitch. He gets to make more money off the book he sold talking about the scamming that he did.
Yeah, because that's how society works, and crooks get crookier. And he did go to jail. I'm trying to find out what time he was in jail. When did he go to jail?
I don't know. I think it was like the early 90s, maybe.
I don't know. Let me see here. Let's look this up, folks. Join me.
Join Mike in looking up Jordan Belfort, the Christmas Spiel.
Why is it so hard to find this easily? You think that would be just like an easy Google search,
Actually, I've been having issues lately with searching for stuff on Google and YouTube. I think there's...
Yeah, I'm not looking on... I'm actually doing a DuckDuckGo, but I was just calling it Google. It was 99, so this was before he went to jail.
Oh, okay.
That he produced these 8 movies. So.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
That's very interesting.
So it was probably funded by, money that he stole from little old ladies and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or sending when penny stocks the postman, which is a song title that I'm going to use eventually for a song that I wrote down like 10 years ago after I played for the first. No, actually, no. I think I saw this movie about 2014, so about 11 years ago, because they mentioned at one point when he first learns how to sell penny stocks to people, the guy says like, oh, there's always postmen, there's always lots of postmen that you sell to. I was like, selling penny stocks to postmen, that's such a great band name or a song title.
That it is. You know what also would be a great band name?
Santa with Muscles.
Yes. So what happens in this movie?
Oh, God. So Blake Thorne, or whatever his name is, he's like this rich dude who is maybe an actor, or he's just like a muscly guy and he sells products based off of that. I don't know. Okay. And he has like his whole like crew, like his butler.
Yeah, they never do tell you how he got his money. I mean, they do mention later on that he's the richest man in 10 states, whatever the fuck that means.
I have no idea what that's even supposed to mean. Yeah. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense. What does that even mean?
Which 10 states?
Which 10 states? Like, what do we even... Like, it's such a weird...
So, like, they're obviously, like, in California. So, like, if you cross the Mississippi and then you're, like, there's richer people over there or something? Like, what's going on?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But like, I would think because he's on like cereal boxes, he sells like vitamin supplements. So he's probably an actor or something. Because usually you don't start out like selling supplements or being on cereal box. Usually because you're something else before that. Athlete, or an actor or whatever,
or you're just rich and you put your name on everything, like the current president, and also, well, I mean, and somebody who's rich and puts their likeness on like stupid products was very much something that Hulk Hogan did in his lifetime too. So, but he actually, we know why he was famous. He was a well-regarded wrestler, so it's not like he was just rich.
No, it's right. So he does this thing like where he pretends to like get into like a huge fight with his entire crew, like he's trying to save one from a building, but it's really just his own house, and those are the people who work with him. So that's kind of a weird like morning. Like, how like TikTok, everything's like the new morning routines, like the new fad. That was his morning routine. was basically getting into like a fight with like 7 people at his own house and people he works with, and
that's what I do. I do that every morning.
Yeah,
and actually, in reality, I get up and I take my meds, and then I usually have to relieve myself in the bathroom, and then eventually I eat and watch YouTube for a while. So it's the same thing basically, right?
It's exactly the same thing. Yeah. Then they're gonna play paintball. So basically, they're trying to like promote, like depict them as like some kind of like rich man. Is basically what they're trying to do, but good because like Hulk Hogan still looks like Hulk Hogan, so you can't really depict him as a man child just because of how he looks. Basically, it just doesn't work, especially with this like
you can, because a man child doesn't really have a certain. I mean, I guess if the immature sort of thing, like if you think man child, you think like Adam Sandler or something, but. It's you can still be a man child and be a doofus with a body.
Yes, with muscles, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess so. And so they want to play. So this is where the series of crimes takes place, because this movie is full of felons all over. Almost every character besides like the kids and woman from the orphanage or the guy from the orphanage are committing multiple felonies that would land each person in prison about a minimum 20. And so they're going to play paintball, and they start driving around crazily, breaking the laws. And you think like
shooting out of their like car or whatever it is, like a Jeep or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
You would think that, you run a stop sign, that would be it, right? No, we're just going to keep going and basically have a car chase, which is extremely dangerous to do. That's why a lot of cops don't even do car chase, or just because of how dangerous it is. A lot of times, they don't.
Actually, a lot of cops will do car chases when they shouldn't even have to, and get in trouble. Like I listened to a whole podcast about basically the whole like history of like the death by car through cops thing. So yeah,
so dangerous. It's like I've seen some of these, and just like so dangerous for everyone on the road, including like the bystanders. But anyway, so yeah. So
also the cop, the officer who's chasing them is Hinckley, played by Clint Howard. So who's in everything. So
he always plays like a comedic kind. Well, maybe not always, but a lot of times he plays a comedic.
Yeah.
And
he's been drama is usually his brother's films. So yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, like in Ron's movies. So yeah.
He almost gets killed because they're obstructing his vision, which that's a huge crime right there of a police officer. You're potentially causing a fatal accident that could kill both the officer, which comes with a even stiffer penalty than the civilian, which I don't agree with, but that's just how the law is. And also potentially could have died in this fiery car crash because they wanted to play paintball, I guess, for some reason. I don't know what the big deal
and
that was.
So yeah, he goes back to, he's going through the thing. He's like, I grew up around here. So he says he knows where to hide. And he just abandons his friend who's in the passenger seat and like rolls out of the car.
Just flat out like, hey, see you in jail. I'll write to you or something like that.
Yeah. And his friends get caught, but he hides out at a mall.
Yeah.
where we've learned that Santa isn't showing up to greet the kids at the mall.
Nope.
And and so he's going by and he changes into the Santa costume. And earlier in the thing they talked about the size they needed for the Santa costume. I forgot to write it down, but whatever it was, it didn't seem like it would be something that would fit Hulk Hogan.
Not in the knees.
No. So yeah, they chase him into the mall. they almost catch him, and then he's hanging down a trash chute, gets hit in the head with a Santa statue, falls down, and he's got the Santa costume on, and he's found by an elf named Lenny, who just assumes him to be another drunk mall Santa, and then Lenny just robs him.
Yeah, Lenny basically is like a thievery. He commits so many theft crimes in this movie. It's actually quite concerning.
Yeah, and Lenny takes his wallet and everything, and he's like, "I'm rich," and they open it up, and it looks like there's maybe like $350 in there. So I mean, and that's not really rich per se. I mean, not even 1996 rich.
It's not. But he's because he's like a gambling addict. It seems like he's always owes people money. And so like the whole plot in this movie is like, does this guy like own the entire town? I didn't really quite understand.
We started out with a letter to Santa being written by this cute little girl who's all sad, and it's like, "Dear Santa, my life sucks. Can you help me?" Stuff like that at the beginning of the movie.
Like that. Like some guy named Mr. Frost owns the town.
Mr. Frost, played by Ed Begley Jr.
Yes.
He's trying to buy everything, and they show him at one point, and he's like got these henchmen who are all doctors named Blight, Watt, and Flint, and Vile. And they try to sell shoes. He's trying to buy this shoe store, and they pull a whole Suge Knight and hang this guy by his feet instead of off of a balcony. It's like on this, I don't know, one of those exercise things where you hang yourself upside down and then start messing with him, and electrocution, and so it's like Dr. Vile has supposedly he's trying to spray him with methane gas, which by the way, methane gas doesn't have a smell.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so you're wrong.
In the movie world, it does, I guess. So, yeah.
In the TV world, it does. You just force people to sell businesses using torture. That's apparently legal.
Just like I said, the same way that Suge Knight got Vanilla Ice to sign over his contract to him. Yep. So allegedly, I don't want to be sued by Suge Knight because he's still alive. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, but anyways, back to the mall. We've got, Lenny finds the guy, steals the stuff, and he tries to, he finds out that it's Blake. So he looks at it and he's like, I've got, well, first off, Santa doesn't have any memory not Santa. Blake doesn't have any memory of who he is. So Lenny convinces him he's Santa Claus.
Yeah, he just believes him too. He's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that makes sense.
What the hell?
Then, so Blake assumes the identity of a mall Santa for kids, and then two people try to steal money from a really weird thing that they put money in to help out the orphanage or something. It's a big globe sort of thing with a huge opening for the money, which I don't understand. It would be really easy to just take the money out of it anyways. But the guy puts it under his shirt and then drops it, and it gets all over the place. And then, Macaulay Culkin's wife tells Brenda Song tells people where it is. She's a really well accomplished actress in her own right, so I don't know why. She was a Disney star for years, and she's also does a lot of voice work. So yeah, and then then he all of a sudden becomes like a hero and saves the day there.
Yay!
Lenny is trying to. Lenny. He's trying to take the credit cards out of the wallet to get money out of the bank. But for some odd reason, in 1996 in this world, the ATMs needed a thumbprint.
Or a face scan.
Yeah.
Beard. Yeah, 1996 outdoor ATM machine.
At a mall.
Yeah.
I don't think biometric scanning really exists, and it still doesn't exist in ATMs to this day. So,
Lenny is just basically like all kinds of fraud right now. I mean, he already robbed Blake with stealing his $300, and he greedily took the $50 that was owed to him because he found a new Santa to do the Santa work on, because he owes all this money to Mr. Frost for some reason. I don't know. Didn't really exactly what. There's no explanation. That's a problem. It's like you don't know anything about you don't know why Thorne's rich. You don't know if he's an actor or an athlete. You just know he's rich and he's on all these different cereal boxes. Lenny is a gambling addict, but you don't know what he actually owes the money for. Don't really know why Mr. Frost even wants to buy the entire town until the very end of the movie. And even then, the explanation's not really that good. It doesn't really make any sense.
No.
And so it's like, what is this movie even about? Like, I don't even know.
This is like
I don't even know what it's about.
it's like a half-written movie. It's not really, like there's no like, I don't know, explanation or anything, and then things happen later on, but that try to explain things but don't. So yeah, he basically the local papers and TV shows start referring to this guy as Santa with muscles, but basically he assumes the identity of Santa Claus, and then he goes to the orphanage to make sure that the people are okay, and all the children have been placed elsewhere because they know that there's an impending doom from Mr. Frost, basically. Like it is. The thing is, it's funny. His name is Ebner Frost. It's like a combination of Jack Frost and Ebenezer Scrooge in a way. So
I guess I don't know. And probably Frost because he's like cold.
And Jack Frost. And Jack Frost in the legends of old is like a bad guy. So yeah, not the Snow Dad, but the other Jack Frost.
Not that, yeah.
Not the Snow Dad is better than No Dad, Jack Frost. Yeah. So he's interviewed by the local news, and after he goes to the orphanage, and there's only 3 kids left at the orphanage because everybody else had been adopted out or sent off to places, but and they're all like, we're the ones that nobody wanted, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah.
You've got like the 3 cutest little kids in the world, and they're the ones that nobody wanted.
They're the rejects, the leftovers, is what he said.
Yeah.
That's the word he used.
Yeah.
Like, dude, yeah.
It's Taylor, Sarah, and Elizabeth. Also, we meet there that Leslie runs the place with help of Clayton, who is Garrett Morris's character. First off, the Blight and his crew of other doctors run around town in an ice cream truck. This is like some Adam West Batman sort of like criminal activity shit. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck.
It's just so dumb. It's so campy.
And
why do they have to?
Yeah, because he stops them from they randomly decide to knock down a random statue in front of the orphanage of somebody that they never say who it is. I mean, I'm all for it if it was like Robert E. Lee or Christopher Columbus or something. Go for it. But
but it's like they're trying to like insult them by. It's just like, what is this movie even about?
I know.
Like what is the goal here? Like why are they doing why like obviously the statue meant something to them, but again, no explanation as to why. Yeah. So just left with, these guys are assholes. They just broke a statue for some reason. And then Santa with muscles apparently is so strong that he's able to pull a car back from driving, which now he has like super quickness. But then those,
I can do that.
Okay, well that's good.
I put the chain in my teeth and I just go and I pull it away. That's how I do it.
And then
and I mean this is like a little Hot Wheels car. It's not anything big, but
This is the kind that changes color when you put it under the water.
Those were so cool. Or the ones like when you hit the door on some of them, they would like change to make it look like it was all vented in. Those are cool too.
Yeah, those were so fun. Yeah, I know those were so cool, man. And but like it like also I guess like a cool version of like the subversion of subversion of expectations. It's like the dentist guy apparently knows karate, so that was kind of weird. Where like he almost wins a fight against Blake, which I was not expecting. He does like this cool like karate kick and just like kicks him in the face.
It's like, but in reality, I think Hulk Hogan would kick that guy's ass in a second. That's just.
I know exactly. But what the hell?
Maybe not now because that guy's still alive and Hulk Hogan's not.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. So there's not much going on. But no. And it's just so bizarre. And it's like, I don't know why they're stealing the money in the town when the guy's already rich. Because they can't, if they steal the money, they can't pay for the orphanage, then he can just buy it outright. I guess that was the plan. I don't really explain. All we know is that he wants the orphanage really bad. God, this movie's terrible. So he wants them. He wants to do it really bad, and we find out. Maybe I misunderstood, but did Blake grow up in the orphanage with Frost?
We find that out later that they were. I don't know if they grew up together. I think they did. They were like best friends when they were little. So,
but they only one time in the whole movie. So again, tell, don't show. Apparently, that's how you do movies.
That was towards the end. I mean, I don't know how much of the story we need to tell, but basically, he stays with them for a little while, and then eventually there's a fight with where Santa gets pushed off this tower and ends up falling into a garbage truck, and then he wakes up in his mansion, still in his dirty Santa clothes. So like his servants or friends or whatever find him, and they don't even bother to like clean him up. They just throw him in his bed, look like smelling like garbage, because that's what you do.
Exactly. Come on. Yeah, he wouldn't wake up, right? They're like, we can't do anything. Just put him to bed, I guess.
There's like a runny. We find out that when he fell into the garbage truck, he knew who he was because there was some trash in there that had his face on it, and he says still needs to, because towards the beginning of the movie he said something about how it should be tanner. It's like still needs to be tanner and bigger, or something like that.
In reverse amnesia from the second fall, which I'm not.
Those are the words that Donald Trump says to himself every day. Needs to be tanner and bigger.
Yeah, exactly. And it needs to be on more things. Gotta be on everything. It's gotta be on your cereal boxes, your soda bottles, your milk bottles, your refrigerators, your bed sheets, your bathroom toilet covers, your shower curtains, your regular curtains, your cars, your vehicles, your musical instruments, your sex toys. Wait, what? And then and that would be so fucked up, man.
I mean, I own all of those things with his likeness on it, but that's just me.
That would be like the ultimate mood killer. Like, I don't care. I could be like with the hottest woman on the planet. And if she's like starts like having a bunch of like Trump paraphernalia, I'm like, I'm out. I'm going.
It's like
I'm out of here. Have a good night.
I mean, I'm on some dating websites, and I do like the fact that a lot of these people will just warn you up front. They'll be like, if you don't like Trump, then you shouldn't like me. I'm like,
yeah.
It does suck though, because a lot of times they are hot. But anyways, so
they're probably like fake profiles and bots or some shit.
I know, but it's like, if you don't like Trump, don't like me. Yeah, but anyway, so
don't push it. So.
But I mean, that's like the worst killer. It's like, I mean, how like sometimes, people don't really like it when people smoke or something. It's like, oh, they could be like the coolest person ever, but then they light up that cigarette. It's like, they light up the cigarette of Trump, and all of a sudden they're, ugly.
Well,
yep, that's how it goes. But yeah, he wakes up in his house, and he remembers who he is, and then he calls up the orphanage, and for some odd reason, the bad guys were prepared for this and had deep fake technology back then, and we're able to make it sound like the Leslie at the orphanage was answering the phone and saying, we don't want anything to do with you, blah blah blah, whatever it was. But yeah, it's like,
again, why would she even think that when there was no problem with them before? Like there was no conflict. That's what I hate about these kind of movies, where it's like, what is actually happening? Like, they didn't have an argument beforehand, which would necessitate. They
didn't even do the generic thing that I thought they were going to do, where I thought for sure like Leslie, the woman running the orphanage, was going to fall in love with Blake. Nope.
Yeah, so I guess that was one subversion of expectations to go through. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so apparently Thorne and Eddie were best friends, and we only learned that like 2 minutes before the movie is over.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow they both got rich or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know, whatever. Again, tell, don't show. You don't just tell the audience that these people used as friends for no reason.
I mentioned that earlier in the movie, while he was at the orphanage, there's this big safe in there underneath the orphanage in this clubhouse the kids have, where he knew they only figured out like 3 of the numbers for the combination, but he knew the rest. So that was the first sign that he had been there before. And then they go into the thing, and there's like all these like really cool crystals and shit underneath the ground that create some kind of electricity, and like you drop them and they explode,
Which is there even science behind? I mean, I know those kind of crystals exist, but
yeah, I don't know if
I
don't know if they have electricity like that.
because I know those crystals do exist like that, where they do naturally hold electricity just based on what they are and how old they've been and stuff like that. But yeah, this is conveniently just is underneath the orphanage for some reason, and Mr. Frost wants it again. For what reason? To make money. Okay, but what is the money being like? That's it. That's just come on. Like,
I mean, if like in most movies, you have a thing like where there's a I want to buy the whole town, which I guess he kind of does, but it's like doesn't explain why or what or what his motivation is. There's no motivation for any of the characters in this movie, really.
That's it. That's exactly it. That's the movie.
Kids who just want to be happy and don't want to be kicked in their living arrangements. And want to eat and live like, most people do. But, sometimes that's considered bad or something.
Speaking of the modern technology that we don't even have now, is at one point when they're eating breakfast, Blake / Standing with Muscles is drinking milk, and then Lenny is staring at it in slow motion, and they're like, and it's like playing like a thing in the background of like, welcome to South America, and like, here's your all-purpose retreat or whatever. And then he gets the idea to take the thumbprint off of the glass of milk so he can then use the thumbprint to go to the ATM machine. But it was for the left thumb, it needs the right thumb, or vice versa. I'm like, this is a very specific.
I have questions about this. So like, let's say that this technology exists and it's totally normal.
Yeah.
What if he lost his hand?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Didn't it work with the other hand too? And it obviously recognizes that it's the other thumbprint.
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't that be enough to identify the person?
Yeah. I mean, apparently the ATM machine is ableist. Like, sorry, you lost the other hand. I guess you can't get any of your money out of the account.
I mean, we know it's you, dude, but you can't get any of the money out because, I mean, the thing is, the thing on the glass though would actually work on. There's ways to trick that are legit, that you can take the fingerprints off of glass and use it. I don't know if exactly how Lenny did it, but there is technology, and they've actually proven it on like Mythbusters and other shows that I've seen in the past. And I've read about it because I wasn't sure, because it happens all the time in like TV shows like Leverage and whatnot, that, they get somebody's thumbprint and then they can get into this thing. But I was wondering if that's actually true, but it is. So
yeah, I mean, it's very, but apparently in 1996, all this stuff was possible. And
yes.
And my whole thing too with Lenny is just like, you are so greedy that like, okay, so the whole thing was that he was like wanted to pay off his gambling debts or whatever debts have been caused. Maybe it's not even gambling debt. I don't know. And then it goes to him wanting to basically just commit identity fraud, so that he can move to South America and be rich there. But you could be rich in America, North America as well. So I'm not sure why.
I think he wanted to go there so people, because he knew he was going to probably get in trouble eventually for stealing the money.
Oh,
so if you go to like South America, you're far enough away. Maybe they don't have an extradition treaty or something. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. That's my guess.
True, yeah. But meanwhile, though, he's like, what's so weird about it, though, is that during this time, he actually still is like actually befriending like Blake Thorne. So it's like, it's not even so much of like him like pretending to be his friend so he can steal his money. He is now his actual friend, and he's still trying to steal all of his money. So it's
it's insane.
So weird.
Why can I? Sorry, I was looking something up, but I can't find it. Anyway, so basically, what ends up happening is we've got he comes back to the place, and he brings all of his buddies from his mansion to help rescue the kids, and all of the bad guys are holding the place hostage with T-squares. Mm-hmm. No swords or guns or anything, but like T-squares, because that's what they were designed for. T-squares, So he basically, they save everybody, and the kids help him out, and blah blah blah. He rescues the kids, and as well as Leslie and Clayton, and that's when Clayton reveals that he grew up in the orphanage with Ebner, as his best friend. How they had a falling out.
Again, But they ever explained what it following out was? What I mean,
I do not know what it was. There was so then they end up going down and finding, after they beat everybody else up, and they go down to the caverns underneath with all the things, and then we have like a sword fight underneath there with Blake and Ebner using these crystals, I think, which are these geo-like crystals that can blow up, supposedly.
And they're hitting each other like with lightsabers. So it's like Santa, Hulk Hogan as Santa with basically a lightsaber fight with Mr. Cross, played by Ed Bick.
Yeah, I know it only made $220,000 at the box office. That's not much.
Not much at all. It's every God. That's just like abysmal.
Yeah, that's like 500 or like 500 or 600,000 today. So it's
right. So it's nothing.
Yeah, and I think the movie cost like $1 million to make or something. So it's just, or at least $500,000. I found it earlier, but I can't find the price right now. So, but anyway, so they're all, they're having this fight and everything, and they end up, that something happens, and they realize that, oh wait, the whole thing's going to explode, and so they all run out of the cavern and run out of the place, and then like the orphanage and the church blow up.
Yeah, all thanks to the stupid lightsaber fight. That's what did it.
There was also, I wanted to mention that at one point when they're fighting off people, there is a very racially insensitive character.
Oh, really?
Wrestler Ed Leslie is dressed up as a sumo lab assistant and wearing like stereotypical Asian like mustache and things like that, and going, in the church, and then he's beaten up by Ed Leslie was a good friend of Hulk Hogan's for a while until they had a falling out, I guess. He was better known as Brutus Beefcake.
Okay.
In the WWF back in the 80s. But he had, I just wanted to mention this while we can. He had several ring names. Baron Beefcake, Big Brother Booty, The Booty Man, Brother Broody, Brute Force, Brutus Beefcake, The Butcher, The Clipmaster, The Disciple, Dizzy Golden, Dizzy Hogan, Ed Boulder, Eddie Golden, Eddie Hogan, Furface, The Mariner, The Man with No Face, The Man with No Name, The Zodiac, and King Clipper.
Okay.
In his like 30-some year career, those are the different names he used.
Oh.
But he had been friends with Hulk Hogan since 1977. So yeah, I just I saw the guy and I was like, he looks like a wrestler, so I had to look it up. So yeah.
There's like this electrocution too.
Yeah, there's an electrocution at one time. They electrocute this lady, and they freeze. It would have been more appropriate if they froze Frost, but no, they freeze Blake.
Yeah, I know those.
They put him in a cooler in the kitchen. I mean, a freezer in the kitchen. By the way, most of those since like the late 70s, at least, have had legally have to have a way to get out from the inside. So. Doesn't mean it always works, but somehow he got trapped in there. I don't know, without anything blocking the doorway or anything. So yeah, but yeah, the church and the orphanage blow up, and they're like, "Oh no, where are we going to live now?" And then Blake says, "I've got an idea." He buys. It's implied, I guess, that he bought Frost's mansion, his compound, and turns it into a new orphanage. And so many more orphans have joined the place too, I guess. And so then they're playing around, and Larry's there sunning himself, and they have a telescope, and they're looking out the telescope, and they see the henchmen doing day labor in a prison yard.
Wait, yes, that was. I have 1,000 questions with that one. So,
yeah,
does this town not have a law enforcement, and you could just have slave labor in your estate? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
no. What do you mean? That's like a prison yard that they're at.
Oh, I thought it was at their house.
No, it's like the prison yard, because they're all wearing like their prison outfits. The other thing too, earlier on, speaking of slave labor, Frost said that he wanted to have the kids go and get the crystals out from underneath the ground and basically use them as slaves.
Hey, the children yearn for the mines. That's there you go.
He has henchmen already on his payroll. Why didn't he just have them do it? Why wasn't that?
fingers and hands make it easier to pull out. I don't know.
I mean if history tells us anything, because that's why little children, not people, but children were used in factories back in the day, and probably still today, and probably soon in the future, now that they're relaxing child labor laws to make things, because we're going to need all those kids to be able to like screw in the little screws on the iPhones that are going to be built in the United States after all the tariffs and shit. Supposedly, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yep.
But anyways, that's how the movie ends. And I have a question here about this. So they're doing this, labor in the in this labor yard, and they all have on like these cartoonish prison uniforms with stripes all over them and everything. The woman henchman, though, has on a skirt. In what prison would they have a prison uniform that is a skirt?
I know. It's just like
so stupid.
This town is bizarre town. It's almost as weird as
it's like live action cartoon, but still.
Yeah, this town's almost as bad as the Buttercream Gang town, where like the entire town basically conspires against the main character and to try and become a better person. But it's like they're like gaslighting him at the same time.
Listen to our episode on that if you get a chance, folks.
We did both Buttercream Gangs. We did Treasure Island. That was one of our early episodes, actually. And,
so I want to ask you here about this movie here. What do you give it on a scale of 1 to 5 snowflakes?
1.
One
Here's
snowflake.
Your point. Yeah, 1 snowflake. Yeah,
I give it a melted snowflake.
I would give it negative if it's possible. Yeah,
yes, we can do it. You can do that. That's fine. I'll allow.
I'll do a -3 snowflake.
Yes. Oh boy, 'tis the season, folks. I forgot to create the snowflake thing earlier, but let's go with it from the rest of the season. 'Tis the season, folks.
We wasted 2 of our Christmas movies for these piece of shit ones. We should probably do better ones for the next 2.
Maybe we'll do some good Christmas movies. But you know what, folks? You're going to have to tune in and find out. But you know what? Another thing you guys can do is you can go to all2real2.com, check out our social media, check out our TeePublic and buy some merch, check out our Patreon and join. Good way to support the show. Share the show with your friends. Give us a 5-star review or a thumbs up or whatever you can wherever you're listening to this. And just spread the word, folks. Right. You know what you could do? And all of your Christmas cards that you send out this year, right at the bottom, where you say like, love Mike. And then right underneath it, you can say, listen to All Too Real 2. You can find the show at all2real2.com. Right underneath it on your Christmas cards. It's a good way to spread the word. People might think you're weird, but hey, 'tis the season to be weird. And folks, just remember that no human is illegal. Food and shelter are human rights. Free Palestine. Trans lives are human lives. Be different. Be yourself. And remember that I love you. Santa, you slay me. Which is a line from this movie. And Sesame loves you. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here, wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day, yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.